Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're embarking on a journey into, well, a really remarkable exhibition. It's 16th century Netherlandish drawings, currently on display from the Hermitage collection.
A fantastic collection.
And our mission today, it's really to uncover how the revolutionary spirit of Italian Renaissance art profoundly reshaped the work of artists back in the Netherlands.
Right. It wasn't just style, was it? It transformed techniques, even, why they were drawing in the first place.
Exactly. And we'll be exploring some surprising facts, things about these works, some that have, believe it or not, never been seen publicly or even published before.
And yeah, this deep dive is grounded in looking really closely at specific pieces from this incredible collection. Each one has its own story, its own sort of artistic innovation.
It's a chance to see how these powerful ideas actually traveled, right, across Europe, changing art fundamentally.
Precisely.
So when we talk about this huge Italian impact, who are the key artists embodying that early shift? What did they bring back that was so, well, game-changing?
Jan Gossaert is absolutely pivotal. You have to start with him, really.
I'll start, okay.
He came back from Italy just completely affected by the ancient monuments, the mythology. He even started depicting nudes in that Italian style, which is new.
Ah, the classical influence straight away.
Yes, but what's truly fascinating, I think, is that Gossaert didn't just bring back new subjects. He brought back a whole new type of drawing.
A new type? What do you mean?
What we call the eskiz. The sketch. It was so different from the really meticulous, highly detailed drawings common in the 15th century Netherlands.
Right, those very finished-looking older drawings.
Exactly. Gossaert's sketches were improvisational, energetic, just rapid pen and ink compositions.
We get to see a prime example of this, actually, for the very first time in this exhibition. His conversion of Saul drawing.
That's the one. It's a stunning premiere for exactly that reason.
So how does it show this new approach?
Well, you look at it and you can really feel the improvisation. It's all about the general dynamics, where the figures are placed, the tension of these masses in motion. It's not focused on tiny details.
That sort of unfinished quality, you mean?
Precisely. And that was absolutely part of its unique charm and a genuine innovation back then. It wasn't just style shifting, it changed the whole purpose of drawing.
How so?
Drawings went from being just like meticulous blueprints to these dynamic spaces for pure creative thought. A really crucial step towards, modern artistic freedom.
So was this conversion of Saul's sketch for painting then? Or something else?
That's still a bit of an open question for scholars, actually.
Ah, okay.
It could have been for a painting, more plausibly, maybe a tapestry design. Tapestries were huge.
Right.
But either way, it's clearly this free, authorial sketch, born from, a moment of raw, creative impulse. Really rare for the Netherlands at that exact time.
Okay, so Gossaert brought this grand Italian drama and this new freedom in sketching. But the Renaissance influence also started kind of subtly, changing how artists depicted everyday life.
That's right. And we see this in a really unique discovery in the exhibition, a fascinating drawing by Cornelis Buys II.
Buys II.
Also displayed for the first time. It's called the Sorgelus drawing, a really lively tavern scene.
Sorgelus. What's the story there?
Well, this piece gives us a truly vivid glimpse into daily life, but with a narrative twist. It's illustrating a scene from a popular 16th century Netherlandish play called Sorgelus.
A play? Interesting.
Yeah, it's basically a retelling of the prodigal son parable, but cleverly set in the Netherlands, making it really relatable for the audience back then.
And the drawing itself, is it detailed?
Oh, it's just bursting with activity. You see figures around a table, there's a beggar approaching, a woman sitting on a guest's lap.
Sounds lively.
Oh, it is. Another woman's subtly stealing a purse. And right in the foreground, Sorgelus himself, the main character, is being led into this sort of dissolute world by a woman embracing him.
Wow.
It's full of life, tells a compelling story with these quick, lively pen strokes. But what's truly remarkable, maybe, is that this is likely the first drawing we can confidently attribute to Cornelis Buys II.
Really? So he wasn't well known for drawings before?
His graphic legacy was largely unknown until now. He was a student and collaborator of Jan van Scorel, a bigger name, but by his own drawings. Pretty much a mystery.
So this attribution is a significant breakthrough then. How did they figure it out now?
Well, here's the fascinating part. The back of this drawing, the reverse side, has a landscape with antique ruins. And that side was actually shown 13 years ago.
No way!
Yeah. So the decision to show the Sorgalu's tavern scene side now allowed curators and scholars to make the stylistic comparison that finally led to this attribution.
That's incredible, like finding a hidden clue on the back of something you already had.
Exactly. That's like a hidden puzzle piece finally clicked into place. It really shows how new exhibitions, new ways of looking can unlock these previously unknown chapters in art history.
Allows us to attribute works, to artists whose drawing style was just a blank before.
Precisely.
Okay, moving on to another, giant of Netherlandish art, Martin van Heemskerk.
Oh, absolutely. A massive name.
Known for his prolific, very individual style, huge influence, partly because he spent, 7 years in Italy?
That's right, 1532 to 1539, just completely immersing himself in classical art.
What made his dedication to studying antiquity so special? I mean, others went to Italy too.
What's unique, almost miraculous really, is that his sketchbook survived, filled with drawings of ancient Roman monuments, the Colosseum, other ruins, sculptures. They survived almost intact.
Where are they now?
They're mostly in the Berlin print cabinet, a major collection. It's this rare, precious testament to his dedication, an unparalleled record of Roman ruins from the 16th century.
And one of those studies is in this exhibition, right? His Ruins of the Colosseum drawing.
Yes. And it's compelling on two levels.
Okay.
First, as a historical record, it shows the Colosseum's southern arcades as they looked in the 1530s, lets you visualize it as Heemskerk saw it.
A snapshot in time.
Exactly. But beyond that, it's just a masterpiece of artistic skill. He captures the sheer monumentality of the thing on a, relatively small sheet of paper.
Wow.
With just simple graphical means. But his manner is energetic, temperamental, yet incredibly precise. It's rightly considered one of his best Roman drawings. Really a highlight.
And there's another Heemskerk premiere in this show, a Last Supper sketch.
Yes, another one. And this was previously stored anonymously, just unattributed.
So what does this rediscovery tell us about Heemskerk's process that maybe we didn't grasp before?
Well, it's significant because until recently, we knew Heemskerk mainly for those Roman studies and his incredibly detailed prints, often designs for engravings, very finished things. This Last Supper is different. It's a pen and wash sketch. You see his characteristic expressive poses, energetic figures gesturing actively, qualities we definitely see in his paintings.
Ah, so it connects more directly to his painting practice.
Exactly. This drawing is part of a small group, only recently identified, of sketches directly linked to his paintings. It reveals a completely different, more spontaneous facet of his graphic work.
So we're getting a fuller picture of his artistic mind then, moving beyond just the careful studies and print designs.
Right.
To see how he actually brainstormed compositions for his painted works, more immediate, more dynamic.
Precisely. It shows the breadth of his drawing practice, how he used it for different things, from meticulous observation to rapid compositional thinking.
Okay, so we've seen how Italy sparked this personal artistic exploration. But it wasn't just about individual breakthroughs, was it?
Right.
It also reshaped these grand monumental commissions.
Absolutely. And Peter Koke van Elst is a perfect example here.
Koek van Elst. He sounds incredibly versatile. Painter, tapestry designer, architectural graphic artist, even an architect.
He was all of those things, incredibly versatile, and crucially, he was the first to translate classical architectural treatises Vitruvius, Serlio, into Dutch.
Wow, okay. That really underscores his deep interest in Italian Renaissance architecture.
Definitely. And we see this play out in his larger projects. His involvement in a stained glass project for Brussels Cathedral in 1542 is fascinating because it's so well documented.
Documentation is rare for these things, isn't it?
Very rare to have this much detail. It gives us an incredible window into the art world back then.
So what's the story behind this particular drawing? What does it tell us about how commissions worked?
Well, the drawing itself was a proposal. Think of it as an entry in an artistic competition.
Like a pitch.
Exactly. The window, a monumental one for the St. Michael and St. Gudula Cathedral, was commissioned by King John III of Portugal and his wife, Catherine of Austria.
Royalty involved.
Oh, yes. A Habsburg princess, no less. They're shown kneeling with their patron saints. It really illuminates those complex patronage networks, art serving political, dynastic purposes, just as much as religious ones.
And why was Koek making a proposal?
The previous artist hired for the job, Baron van Orley, had died, leaving the project unfinished. So Koek submitted his design.
And did he get the job?
Here's the twist. His design was paid for. He got 2 florins, which wasn't insignificant for a design.
2 florins.
But ultimately, his design was not realized. The window wasn't made according to his plan.
2 florins for a design they didn't even use. That really shows how unpredictable things could be, even for major artists.
It really does. It highlights the intricate decision-making, the politics involved, a constant dance between the artist's vision and the patron's demands or whims.
But the drawing itself still has artistic merit.
Absolutely. Despite not being realized, the architectural decoration in it, especially the triumphal arch motif, is a masterpiece of Renaissance architectural graphics. Clearly shows that Italian influence from his own travels. It's a historical document and a testament to his skill.
And he did another stained glass drawing later, in 1548. Is that one also well documented?
Not nearly as much. This one, dated 6 years later, shows a kneeling monk before the Virgin Mary with St. Anthony the Great. It still shows his monumental style in that Renaissance architectural design.
But less background info.
Right. It's theorized it might have been for a Portuguese monastery, maybe connected to the earlier royal commission, but no such window survives, so it could have been lost or perhaps just never executed at all. Another grand vision may be left on paper.
It really drives home how much planning and proposal went into these big projects, not just the final execution.
Exactly. Art was an industry, a process.
And speaking of industries, the Netherlands was basically synonymous with luxury tapestries, right? Especially from Brussels. World-renowned quality.
Oh, absolutely. Tapestry production was a huge Netherlandish export.
How did drawings fit into making something so complex?
It was an elaborate process. You'd start with initial compositional sketches. Then came what's called a petit patron, a small project drawing, detailed, often colored, used for client approval, almost like a miniature version of the final tapestry.
So the client signed off on that.
Yes. And only then would they create the carton, the monumental, full-size drawing that the weavers used directly as their guide on the loom.
And the Hermitage has some of these petit patrons.
They have 2, attributed to an artist known as the Master of the Lucas Months.
Master of the Lucas Months. What do they depict?
They're lavish allegories of the months. One is June, showing a hunting party. The other is October, with a grape harvest.
Sounds detailed.
Very. Full-length figures, intricate landscapes, and they were even enriched with gold and watercolor highlights.
Gold and watercolor on a preparatory drawing.
Yes. It reflects the immense value of the final tapestries and just how crucial that client approval stage was before starting the incredibly costly and time-consuming weaving process.
Makes sense. And these specific ones?
They belong to a famous series known as the Bruges Months. Now, these particular drawings are likely 16th century replicas, not the original petit patrons.
Replicas? Why replicate a drawing?
It shows how successful designs were reused and replicated. If a series was popular, workshops would make copies of the patrons to fulfill repeat orders, maybe for different clients across Europe. They faithfully reproduced the original master's style.
Fascinating. So designs themselves were valuable assets.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's shift from these grand formal commissions to something much more, well, informal and experimental. Drawings that give us a glimpse into the artist's mind at work. Lambert Lombard sounds like a key figure here.
He is, yes. A really interesting figure.
He stands out among the Romanists, these Netherlandish artists who embraced Italy. How so?
Lombard was known for his profound classical education. He mastered ancient languages, literature. He even founded an academy in Luge when he got back from Italy. Very scholarly.
An academy, wow. And his ancient scene drawing in the exhibition, what does that reveal?
That drawing, which was a significant acquisition for the Hermitage, really shows his teaching practice and his deep intellectual curiosity.
How does it look?
It's done with these rapid, seemingly almost careless pen strokes. Yet it's remarkably precise in capturing details, antique armor, sandals, architecture. But more than that, there's a subtle psychological depth, real nuance and emotion in the figures.
And Lombard himself wrote on it. Annotations like Fortuna, Mercury, Mark Antony, Cicero.
Yes. And then there's this perplexing phrase in Italian.
What does it say?
Roughly, Lucian writes that virtue always suffers from the whims of arrogant fortune.
Lucian, the ancient Greek writer. That sounds like quite a puzzle to figure out.
He really was a puzzle for scholars. For a long time, the aha moment came when someone realized it doesn't refer to the ancient Greek author Lucian.
No. Then who?
But to a 15th century Latin imitation of Lucian's dialogues, written by Leon Battista Alberti.
Alberti, the Renaissance architect and theorist.
The very same. And here's the key. At the time Lombard made the drawing, Alberti's imitation was widely believed to be an authentic ancient text.
Get out. So the drawing illustrates a text they thought was ancient, but wasn't.
Exactly. It's a direct illustration of this highly learned Renaissance humanist text. You could almost call it a kind of learned joke, or maybe an academic error that fooled contemporaries into thinking it depicted a scene from a lost classical work.
So Lombard might have been illustrating, maybe unknowingly, what was essentially a 15th century scholarly prank or mistake.
That's one way to look at it. It perfectly encapsulates the intellectual fervor, that intense fascination with antiquity in the mid-16th century.
It shows how intertwined scholarship and art were.
Deeply. And how much value they placed on discovering and interpreting classical texts, even if, sometimes those interpretations were based on misattributions or copies believed to be originals. It's a wonderful peek into the intellectual debates, even the academic hoaxes of the Renaissance.
That's incredible. A hidden academic story preserved in a drawing. Makes you wonder what else is out there.
Indeed. Which brings us nicely to our last piece for today, an anonymous artist.
Anonymous.
Yes. And it's the reverse side of a drawing that's particularly interesting. It features these nude sketches, a rare gem, really, a glimpse into an artist's totally spontaneous experimentation.
Like a private sketchbook page, almost.
Sort of feels like that, a true field of experimentation, as you said earlier. Rapid sketches of nudes, partially draped figures, just the artist thinking on paper.
What makes it so rare? Weren't artists always sketching?
They probably were, but such informal sketches from the mid-16th century rarely survive. Why? Because early collectors simply didn't value them.
They didn't see them as art.
Pretty much. They collected finished compositions, portraits, maybe those detailed preparatory drawings like the Petit Patrames, not what they considered just sheets of sketches. Those were working documents, often discarded.
So this one only survived by accident.
Precisely. It survived only because it was on the back of a more finished composition on the front, a design for a church stained glass window. That side was considered valuable enough to keep.
The stained glass design saved the sketches on the back.
Exactly. And to really drive home how little value was placed on these sketches back then, get this. An early owner actually cut down the valuable front side.
Oh, no.
And unknowingly trimmed off parts of the figures sketched on the back. It just shows how disregarded these spontaneous works often were, seen as, artistic scrap.
That's almost painful to hear.
Yeah.
Especially because, today, these free, spontaneous drawings often resonate so much more with modern viewers than the highly finished pieces.
That's a very common feeling, and for good reason. These aren't studies drawn directly from a live model, by the way.
No.
Probably not. They seem to be drawings from memory or from the head, based on a really deep observational understanding of anatomy and form the artist already possessed.
So it's pure invention almost.
It represents free artistic self-expression, a direct link to the artist's inventive mind, unfiltered. They feel very contemporary in that sense, don't they?
They really do, that immediate, raw quality.
Yeah, an unfiltered look at the creative process itself.
Well, today we've taken such a deep dive into this fascinating world. 16th century Netherlandish drawings, seeing how that Italian Renaissance influence just ignited new artistic approaches.
From the birth of that improvisational sketch with Gossaert.
Right, through the intricate world of monumental commissions like Cook's stained glass.
And Bias Tavern Scene, rediscovering lost artists.
Eameskirk's Roman views and painting sketches.
To these intimate experimental studies like Lombard's scholarly puzzle and those anonymous nudes.
And we've seen how everything from official documents to forgotten attributions, even these academic hoaxes, can reveal such rich human stories behind the art itself.
It's true. And maybe, as you reflect on these works, you can consider how some of the most dynamic, the most modern-feeling pieces from centuries ago were once considered just mere experiments, maybe even things to be discarded, while others, the ones meticulously documented, they illuminate that complex relationship between art, patronage, cultural exchange.
It makes you think, doesn't it? What does this tell us about how art is valued then and now, and maybe what surprising treasures might still be hidden in plain sight in today's creative landscape?
Powerful thoughts to ponder.
Indeed. Join us for our next deep dive, everyone. We'll continue exploring Netherlandish classic art, but we'll shift focus a bit. We'll look at the crucial role of landscape drawings and dive into the fascinating world of preparatory designs for engravings.
Looking forward to it.